Hi, I'm Jen Corsi with Thriving Mamas, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about helping our kids learn compassion. It's something that we all want to have. We want to have compassion for others, especially when we've hurt them, but that's a difficult thing to have. Now, this tends to come up in those moments where we as parents recognize our child has hurt somebody else and we want them to apologize. But often we push for the words, I'm sorry, but there's not necessarily the heart behind it. And so this is something we've worked on in our household a lot, helping our kids feel what feel the pain they've created, help them understand the impact of their actions or their words. Now, often these moments where there's an altercation and unkindness, it one of my kids has slipped into enemy mode. They've slipped out of relational mode. Now, if that's a new concept to you, we have a number of blogs on our site about enemy mode, relational mode, all of those things. So please check out some of those resources to learn a little bit more. So I'm going to move forward, assuming that you've already heard about that concept. So in those moments of unkindness, when at least one of the children is in enemy mode, we want to try to draw them back to who they are and who their best self is. So in those moments I might say, "Wow, that was unkind," and follow up with, "Would you like it if your brother did or said that to you?" Usually there's a little bit of a pause and the child will think and say, "No, I wouldn't like that." And then I'll ask the question, how would it feel? Would it feel good to you if your brother did or said that to you? How would that feel to you? And there's usually another pause and, no, that would feel bad. Now, here's the key question as to how we proceed. The next question is that the impact you wanted to have? Is that how you wanted your brother to feel? Now, the answer here is telling because if the answer is no, then they've come out of enemy mode back into relational mode enough that they recognize that's not the kind of impact that they want to have. And so from there, we can proceed with the conversation. But if they say, yes, that's how I wanted him to feel, then you can tell they're still in enemy mode. They're not back in relational mode. They're actually in a place of wanting to hurt their sibling or their friend. And that means a little bit more repair is necessary before an I'm sorry is going to be authentic. So, this is where, again, you can reference some of our other blogs on how to help our kids recover to relational mode when they've slipped into enemy mode. But for now, we'll fast forward to when they're ready. So they may need a little bit of time. You may need to help them recover to relational mode, but when they're back in relational mode, that's when we can move forward with this conversation and for towards repair. And so once they've realized this isn't the kind of impact that they want to have, then we can ask them, well, how do you want to fix this? How do you want to repair this? What do you think? What would feel good to you if your brother said or did this to you? What would you want from him? And sometimes usually there's words, an apology, but sometimes there's also some kind of repair that's needed. If one of them took a toy, they need to give it back or something like that. Or if they broke a toy, they need to figure out a way um, to help their brother with that and restore that to them. So this is the process that we follow in our house to help our sons put themselves in the other person's shoes. How does it feel when I have this impact? How does it feel when I act this way? Is this the kind of impact I want to have? And calling them back to kindness, because kindness is, we often tell our boys that, we're a kind family and this is, you are a kind boy. And is that a kind action right now? Does that line up with who you are? And we're calling them back to their best self in those moments. So a lot more, and at the end of all of this, an apology and I'm sorry probably will happen, but it will be a heartfelt recognizing the impact I'm sorry rather than an I'm sorry because I don't want to get in trouble for not saying it. So, hopefully, this is helpful to you. As I was sharing this with some friends, they said, "Oh, that's an interesting perspective I haven't heard before." And I thought maybe there's more out there that might benefit from hearing this. So, for more topics, check out Thriving Mama's website